Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Christian Lillier, and you are watching The Lillier Show. I just wanted to do a video really quickly because I've gotten so many messages about my eyebrows, especially after the last video I posted, and a particular picture that I posted in a Facebook group. So if you come from that Facebook group, welcome and thank you for watching. So let's get right into it and enjoy. And if you do enjoy, comment, rate, and of course, subscribe. It's just one click of a button. Hang out with me for a little while. All right, let's do it. So today we're actually only going to use 2 products. Actually 3, but 2. Generally, my eyebrows are always accompanied with a full face. I don't ever just do my eyebrows. But there is a way to get around that, and once we get started in this video, we will talk about that. So the products I'm going to use today are my Holy Grail, which will be my Anastsia Beverly Hills. This one I have that I'm using today is in dark brown, and my other for lighter days is chocolate. This one is a little bit lighter and a little more subtle. We're also going to be using, just for the sake of demonstration, we're going to use my Makeup Revolution contour and highlight palette, and it has multiple colors in it for all skin shades. I grabbed this one at Ulta. This was literally, you guys, like, I think it was like 10 bucks at the most. I got this one because I wanted to use something that's more cost effective. I get a lot of emails from people who are like, what are some, drugstore brands or less expensive brands that you can use and still get the same payoff? This happens to be one that I just picked up, and it works pretty well. My normal Holy Grail product is my MAC. This is so old. Oh my God, I'm sure it's expired. This is my NC40 concealer from MAC. I can't remember what kind it is because the label is completely gone. So anyway, let's get started. I like to leave my brow sets open so that they dry out a little bit. So I am going to re-wet it. I'm just going to take a little bit of MAC Fix Plus and spray it on in there. And then I'm going to grab my favorite angle brush. Now, believe it or not, I've had this angle brush for a very long time, and this one is actually from Sephora. It's nothing special. It doesn't cost a fortune. It's just a Sephora eyeliner brush, actually. I prefer to use this. Everybody has their own preferences, but whatever floats your boat. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is I'm going to start in the inner corner of the brow, and I'm just going to trace my natural brow line like so. And I'm going to pull it out and extend the tail. All right. And I would normally do one brow at a time, but for the sake of demonstration, we're gonna do both in the same steps. All right, so I'm gonna do the same over here. A lot of people are afraid to freehand draw their eyebrows. Don't be afraid of that. Learn your natural brow contour. I am not a fan of everybody having their brows all the way up here looking like you just, I don't know, ate a factory full of Botox. That's not a good look. It's best to follow your own brow shape, but if you must create a new brow shape, maybe just leave the leading edge so you have something to start with, because nothing looks worse than brows that are completely drawn on. And that little pencil line of an eyebrow, ladies, is so 1992. Let's stop that. Anyway, moving right along, we're gonna go ahead and do the top. So for the top, I'm gonna start in a little bit further, and I'm gonna pull that color back. And don't be afraid about making little mistakes. We will be able to sharpen and clean that up in the next step. So see, this is what you end up with. All right. And then we'll do the same over here. Like so. All right. So Now we're going to take this same color and I'm really going to build it up on the brush. And I'm going to start towards the back. And I'm just going to take the color and darken in the tail. You don't want to go too much further than that while the brush is still really heavily saturated with product, or you end up with really black brows. That works on some skin tones. It does not work on mine. Alright, so we're just going to fill that in, fill that in. And if you have a new, when you first get this, it's really, really jelly and it's very highly pigmented. So you don't have to dig in it as much as I'm doing now. I like this to be dried out because it gives me more control. So we're going to, since the brush has, you know, lost a little bit of color, we're going to go in a little bit further, still not going all the way to the edge. Now when I get to the end, I like to fill in the bottom half only. So you should end up with something like that. And then I'm going to grab my trusty spoolie and I'm going to take this color and pull it back, and at the same time I'm brushing my eyebrows up. Now you'll see my hand just slipped right here, but we'll clean that up. Alright, just brush that color on back. You should end up with something like that. This is not my look, so we got to go a little step further. I'm making a mess down here. So next we're going to pick up that Makeup Revolution contour palette. And I'm going to go in with, if I can ever get a good grip on it, it's kind of long. Don't even. It is kind of long though. So anyway, I'm going to go in with this color right here. No, actually, I'm going to use this one. This is the color, I'll see if I can get in close. This is the color that I use when I am doing a full, really dramatic face, because it gives me a higher separation. What's the word I'm looking for? Highlight. It gives me a better highlight, I guess, between my brow and my foundation. When I'm going for something a little more natural, I will use something more along the lines of this color, which is a little closer to my skin tone, just so that it's not as jarring when you actually blend it out with the foundation. So now we're going to grab the flat foundation or concealer brush. This came in my Shani brush palette. It came with like 50 brushes. It's the bomb. I'm telling y'all, I do not spend a lot of money on brushes. It's not really necessary. You can do the same thing with a $2 brush, for the most part, that you can do with a $50 brush. It's all about practice. So I'm going to grab this shade and I'm going to pick up a little bit on my flat brush, and I'm going to trace the bottom line of my brow. So I'm going to go under, just like this. You've seen me do this in videos before, but really going to explain our way through it today. Like that. Don't be afraid to be a little heavy with this under the brow, especially if you're doing an eye. This will help your sorry, I can't talk and draw at the same time. This will help your crease shade show up a little bit better once you blend this down. So we're going to do the same thing over here. And this is why I was saying don't worry about making mistakes when you're drawing them, because you can use this step to really clean and shape them to the way you want them. So you should end up with something like that. It looks a little crazy, but we're going to fix it. Now for the top, we're going to keep using the same color. And I'm doing this so that you can really see what I'm doing. But for normal wear, or if you just want to kind of only do your brows, you can get away with doing these two steps actually with a foundation or with a concealer shade that's really, really close to your skin tone. I can't talk today. What is wrong with me? A color that is really close to your skin tone, it will help to blend out a little bit better. If you're not going to wear eyeshadow, you'll probably want to do the same thing underneath. So anyway, we're going to go in, and I'm going to start towards the back. And we're just going to clean that up. And while we're cleaning it, the contrast between those two colors is really giving a really sharp brow appearance. right, like that. And I'm gonna do the same on the other side. All right, and now that we've gotten a lot of product off of the brush, I'm actually going to pick up some of this and just cut all the way down to the front. All right, see that? Looks crazy as hell. Now, I'm gonna pick up my favorite concealer brush. This is a number 45 precision concealer brush from Sephora. Had this brush for a while too. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of product. You can also do this by spraying your brush with Fix Plus, but I'm just going to grab a little more product because I am going to apply a full face. And I'm just going to take this and blend this out. I'm just going to blend all of this out. You do not have to pick up more product to do this. I just like to do it this way. You can also use a darker concealer from the same palette if you want it to look a little more subtle. I don't. This is what I'm known for. All right, and we're gonna do the same thing underneath. Just like that. Some people like to take that concealer and go all the way in here. I don't do that. Looks crazy. You can see it when you're done. So this is what you end up with once you're done with the brow. And then if you give me guys 1 second, I'll be right back with the full face. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I'm Christian Lillier. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to share with me, to possibly learn something from me. I certainly hope you have. You can reach me at CJamesLillier on Instagram and also Christian James Lillier on Facebook. As usual, I love you guys and thank you so much for all that you do. You've inspired me so much and there are things coming along the line. And if you would, just take a moment and subscribe. But I also need you to share this video so that we can make a movement out of this. All right? One other thing, I did get several messages also about my locks. I am going to do a video about my transplants and hopefully also be able to introduce you guys. I cannot talk today. Introduce you guys to my loctician. Her name is Connie Jones. She's here in Chicago and she is the greatest. Also my barber, shout out to Al. If you need any of that information, you're in the Chicago area, please feel free to reach out, hit me up, and I'll direct you to the right people. All right, so thanks again, guys. One more time, comment, rate, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and smooches and deuces. See you soon.